For listening to the 39th Street Church Christ Daily Devotional. The devotional today is Social Media and the Christian by Robbie Shepherd.
Good evening. If you want to follow me on Twitter, you can find me at rshepherd19. If you want to find me on Facebook, you can find me at www.facebook.com/BobbyHotSauce. Don't ask. You can find me on Instagram at rshepherd1919. You can find me on Byte. Just look up Bobby Hot Sauce again. You can find me on LinkedIn at Robert E. Shepherd. I have a Snapchat, but I have no clue what it is because the only time I use it is when Avery sends me something on Mary's account. So don't look me up there. But I think it's safe to say that I love social media. I really enjoy it. It allows me to keep up with the things that I enjoy. I like to follow sports. On Twitter, I like to follow my Oklahoma City Thunder. And the news is so fresh on that app that professional players have found out they've been traded on social media before the team has informed them. I like to follow my stocks. KG and I are big time stockbrokers. No. But I like to follow my stocks and see what all the pumpers are saying because they're always wrong. And I like to follow the weather. I got to know what Joe Loria is saying about the weather. So I like to follow that. I also like social media because it allows me to share pictures of my kids because I don't get to see my mom or my grandpa enough. And so we post pictures so they can see them and see how they're growing and all the fun things that they do. And honestly, I like social media because whenever I die, my grandkids can show their kids all the stuff that I used to think was funny or pictures of their grandparents whenever they were kids. And that's what I want us to focus on. That's called a digital footprint. And that's what I want us to look at tonight. A digital footprint is a trail of data you create when you use the internet. Anytime you make a post, anytime you make a comment, anytime you do a like, anytime you share something, you're creating your digital footprint. Now, why does this matter? According to a survey done on Career Builder, 70% of employers say they screen candidates on their social media. I can tell you, anytime somebody applies for a position at Osage Trail Middle School, the first thing I do is look up their social media. The same study showed 51% of companies have passed on employees due to their digital footprint. I can tell you 100% of Osage Trail Middle School principals have passed on employees due to digital footprints. A study done by Kaplan showed 40% of universities screen student candidates' social media accounts before accepting them into their university. Every year you hear a story of a kid who was accepted to a university and then posts something stupid and then gets them kicked out before they even start. And like I tell Xander all the time, there are countless cases of student athletes who are trying to play at the college level and the coaches go look at their social media and they say that's their first impression. And so if you're posting stupid stuff, they don't want you in your program, which makes sense. So that's why a digital footprint matters physically, but why does it matter spiritually? I ran some numbers this afternoon as I was writing this. I have 885 followers on Twitter, 944 friends on Facebook, and only 371 followers on Instagram, which Xander likes to laugh at. That means if I make one post on all three accounts, that's going to reach 2,200 accounts instantly. And that's not counting if it gets shared or retweeted. So I need to know what I say, what I like, what I retweet, what I post. All that will tell others about me as a person. And if I'm a Christian, my digital footprint should show that. Colossians chapter 3, verse 17 tells us, whatever we do in word or deed, do all in the name of the Lord. I've never understood how I see people who are members of the church and they post things on social media that just doesn't add up to what they hear here in our congregation or throughout, the churches of Christ throughout the country. I always think about what example are you setting? If you see me posting stuff on social media that wasn't right, the example I set here for our members here wouldn't be great. But what about, there's 160 members here, I have 2,200 followers. What example am I setting for those who aren't a member of the church? What's my digital footprint showing? Matthew chapter 5 tells us to let our light shine. And so I wonder, if the things we post are really letting our light shine. I've seen people who claim to be a Christian post things insightful things just to make others angry so they can sit back and watch the fight occur on social media. I've seen people who, again, members of the church, post things with racist undertones, which I'll never understand. And I've seen people even bash the eldership that they serve under. And I can't tell you how disheartening that is for me and how disheartening I'm sure it is for you. Ephesians chapter 4, verse 29 says, "Let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edifying, that if it may minister grace unto the hearers." So just like our words should be used to edify others, our digital footprint should do the same thing. Tonight, my goal was to reflect briefly on our habits on social media. But I think this is also a good time to reflect on our lives and think about your spiritual footprint. If you take a real close look, and only you can do this, are your footprints leading to God, or are they leading away from God? If the answer is away, why not let tonight be the time that changes? First, you need to examine yourself and make sure you follow the steps that lead to salvation. We know Romans 10:17 tells us to hear, Hebrews 11:6 tells us to believe, Luke 13:3 tells us to repent, and Matthew 10:32 says to confess, and Acts 2:38 tells us we need to be baptized. But as we know, that's not the end. Revelation 2:10 tells us if we stay faithful to the point of death, we will then receive our prize.
Thank you for taking the time to watch this short devotional. We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you'll be notified of other devotionals that will be forthcoming. Also, we encourage you to join us online live as we stream our services at each service time. More information can be found on our website at the link below. Thank you.